Welcome to 2019! Welcome to the first video of 2019. Welcome all my new subscribers. I don't really like the word subscribers, so welcome all you people, humans of the world. Today for you is the 1st of January, so Happy New Year. Hope you had a wonderful holiday season. Since it's a new year, it's a time of reflection. I thought I would talk about how many did I make? The 7 things I have learned as a therapist. I've been a therapist for almost 3 years now, so I'm obviously the most knowledgeable person and I have all the expertise after 3 years. No, but today I really just wanted to kind of share my thoughts and my reflections of being a therapist for 3 years, pediatric therapist to be specific. I have made a long list, very detailed, on my computer, and this video is being shot on my brand new camera that I got for Christmas. It's a Vlogception. It's a Nikon D5600. Fun, huh? Don't you love how I'm using this tripod instead of this tripod? Let's just jump right into it. And 2019, we're just gonna have a lot of hand clapping in 2019. No, 2019 is gonna be a party. Welcome to the party. I feel like if y'all ever saw Frasier, there's a character named Bulldog and he has his own radio show and he like has all these special effects that he uses, and then I feel like maybe I could start integrating some special effects into my video, you know? So like every time I get excited, we're just, sorry if you're a headphone user. Okay, let's get started. When I think about my first day as a licensed therapist, it's crazy how much I didn't know. I remember thinking, I can't believe they gave me a license because I don't know anything. 3 years later, I still sometimes feel that way, although I know I have more knowledge and expertise than I did 3 years ago, but I remember that first day, it's like, okay, it's all up to you. Yeah, I definitely remember feeling unqualified, and like I said, sometimes I still feel that way, but you gotta fake it till you make it, and I still feel like I'm faking it sometimes, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You just have to admit that you don't know everything, and I'm always 100% open with my coworkers and my clients that I don't have all the answers, but I'm willing to find them out with you and we'll learn together. So the first thing that I thought of when I was making this list was that I am not the most creative person, and I don't think you have to be creative as an OT. I think it really helps, but it's okay if you're not creative. I honestly think it's more of your personality and how you are able to form relationships with your clients. And if you can form a really good relationship, that's how you're gonna be able to come up with really good strategies and interventions to help them meet their goals. And I've learned that sometimes the clients actually have better ideas than I do, but because we have a good relationship and we're able to talk things through, they end up coming with these ideas, and then it's even more effective because they came up with it themselves and I'm not telling them to do anything. They just kind of realized it on their own. I think the bigger thing isn't being creative. I think it's about forming relationships with your clients. The second thing that I've learned in the past 3 years is that you can have the best idea, the best intervention, the best strategy, but if the client doesn't do it or isn't willing to adhere to the protocols or the strategies, it really doesn't matter. I found that sometimes a less effective intervention is gonna be better if they'll adhere to it versus the best strategy in the world, because it could be the best, but if they don't do it, then it's really not gonna make a difference. So you really just have to find what works for the person, whether it's, you know, the most researched intervention. Oh, I should probably turn this off. It was flashing. So it could be the most researched intervention that there is, but it really doesn't matter if the person isn't gonna do it. So just find what works for the person and for you as a therapist. Number 3 was hard for me to realize. I had to realize that I'm in control of each therapy session. There wasn't someone kind of looking over my shoulder or guiding me. Like every time I walk into someone's house, I'm in control and I need to set the pace. I need to set what we're gonna be doing. For the most part, I mean, it is in the way that I do therapy, I like to have it really collaborative with the client and their family, but I still have to maintain some form of control and guidance throughout the hour that I'm with the family, and that was really hard But that's when kind of intervention planning comes in, and you have to do that a lot as a new therapist. At the beginning, I wrote down every little thing that I would do within that hour, and now I don't do that at all. So you learn as you go. This next one's gonna be a little bit of a sticky subject. So yeah, this one's gonna be a bit controversial, but number 4 is I've learned that people have just enough knowledge about sensory processing that they kind of just throw out ideas and terms, and they really probably don't know what they mean, or they make recommendations or try different things that really aren't research-based or don't really work. FYI, I'm not a huge proponent of sensory integration and those types of therapeutic techniques. We can talk about that in another video, but it's such a popular thing now, and I feel like people just don't know how to properly apply it and what they're really talking about when they throw around terms like proprioception and vestibular and heavy work. Ooh, that term, heavy work. We're not gonna go down that road. But I've learned that people have that knowledge and they're just maybe not using it correctly. And I get to try and help them apply it in the best way possible. Ooh, number 5 is a good one. So number 5, I have figured out that as a therapist, especially with children, a lot of families will see you as a cure. They think, oh, my kid's gonna go to OT and they're gonna be fixed, quote unquote. And it doesn't work like that. When in reality, my job is to make them as functional as possible and come up with fun and creative ways for them to be able to do what they wanna do, which for kids is just to learn and play and have a typical childhood. And sometimes when we come up with strategies, it might look a little bit different than what a typical person would do or a typical child would do. And so I think it's just been interesting to see that parents and families will sometimes think, oh yeah, my kid's gonna be totally perfect and typical after they go to therapy, and that's not always the case. Ooh, number 6. I've learned that doctors and a lot of medical professionals and people in general have no clue what occupational therapy is, and that's okay. I love to educate them, but as long as they keep sending those referrals, it's all good. Number 7, I've learned that people who make policies, provide reimbursement, and actually want to quote unquote change healthcare really have no idea what they're talking about and have really no knowledge about the healthcare system and how health professionals and healthcare workers actually work with people. They really just have no clue what goes on in a clinic, in a hospital, in everyday people's homes. And I don't know how I don't have any solutions or answers to the struggles that healthcare is going through right now in America. I just know that I am a part of it, and the struggle is real. The struggle is real. To go along with that, it is difficult to keep up with the constant changes in the policies, the regulations, the rules, and all like the reimbursement information. It is difficult. Okay, this last one is a bonus. It's kind of, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but as a medical professional, I think that most people become a therapist, a doctor, a nurse. Anyone that goes into the medical field, I think, goes into it with the idea that they want to help people. And I always think that's great, but it's just, maybe people aren't being realistic, but then they end up getting burnt out. They are tired of clicking 1,000 boxes, spending hours writing long reports, just to get reimbursed for like 45 minutes of therapy and writing, you know, a 3-page report just to get insurance to pay for 3 more visits. I think a lot of people don't talk about that side of healthcare, which kind of goes back to number 7. But I want to be realistic as a healthcare professional that there are like these downside and these kind of like not so fun things, like all the documentation that we have to do in order to keep our jobs and get reimbursed, and in order for the client to continue to get their services. So in a nutshell, those are all the things that I've kind of learned over the past 3 years. Obviously there's the basic things that I've learned, like writing documentation quickly, administering and scoring assessments, and making the best obstacle courses in the land. But in general, these were kind of big picture things that I wanted to share with y'all. And I hope it's just provided you into some insight as an OT and just a healthcare worker in general. I think that's all. 2019, it's gonna be a party, y'all. I'm so excited to have all of you fellow people with me for 2019. Oh goodness, okay. I think that's gonna be it. Gotta clean up this confetti. I'll see y'all in the next video. Woo! Bye! Oh my goodness, look at the mess I've created.